If you played the start of original Mists of Pandaria, you likely remember the daily quest grind frenzy during the Pre-BIS gearing stage. Will it be as bad this time around? Not quite. That doesn't mean there won't be things you need to do to progress with your reputations. This guide will go over every reputation in Mists of Pandaria and how to get exalted. That doesn't mean you should focus on getting them all. If your objective is to get reputation for Pre-BIS gearing purposes, there are only a few reputations you have to pay attention to, and most of them you don't need to get higher than honored with. Be liberal with the use of timestamps in this video. The first section will be going over how to get exalted with each faction, and then we'll go over which reputations you should prioritize in a PvE environment. With that out of the way, here is your Mists of Pandaria guide to reputations. Shado-Pan is the reputation associated with town-long steps. You'll have 15 quests you can do in Kunlai Summit, and then you have a long quest line in town-long steps, which will put you into honored, assuming you do all of the quests in the zone. At that point, the only way to gain reputation with a faction is to do daily quests out of the Shado-Pan garrison. The daily quests will rotate between 3 quest givers and will have between 5 to 6 quests for you to complete each day. This is the only real way to gain reputation with a faction, so if you want to reach exalted, you have to keep coming back every day. You can choose a certain companion based on your reputation level to help you when you're doing the dailies, which speed them up a little bit. Killing Shaw of Anger and turning in the Claw of Anger for your 4, 7, 6 eye level boots will grant you 500 reputation, and then doing the quest in the Shado-Pan Monastery will grant you an additional 1000. The rewards past honored are mostly related to cosmetics and mounts, with the exception being if you're an enchanter, as you have some of the most powerful weapon enchants in the game locked behind Revered, or if you're looking to get the Valor Helmet, which is also locked behind Revered. The Klaxxi is one of the most important reputations due to the 4, 8, 9 eye level ring waiting at the end of the quest line once you reach exalted. This reputation was one of the exceptions to the rule of being a daily quest simulation, allowing you the option of reaching exalted simply through farming mobs in the open world through turning in Dread Amber shards, lootable by any mob in Dread Waste. However, the quest giver that allows you to trade in 5 crystals for better reputation will be disabled until the week after Motion Vault is released, so you won't be able to reach exalted until that point. Chances are you won't get 2 rings in your first clear, so you'll still have to go back and farm these shards. Granted, farming in the open world is not your cup of tea, you will still be able to gain reputation through daily quests. Daily quests will be tied to you unlocking paragons in the zone. The first 4 paragons will be available once you completed the Dread Haste Makes Dread Waste achievement, with 3 more being available through the zone story questline, and the last 3 once you reach honored and revered with the faction and complete the appropriate quest. These daily quests will be centered around 4 zones and will have 6 quests you can complete in the daily quest area, plus 3 additional quests that will be available regardless of which daily quest zone is active. 3 of the quest zones also have a hidden daily quest that is looted from certain mobs. 2 of them simply require you to kill a big mob and loot an item, but the 3rd one will require you to grab a friend, have one person use /lay in the green rune, while the other one uses /kneel in the red rune. This will spawn the Warlord, which drops the hidden daily quest item. These 3 hidden dailies can only be looted once the appropriate zone is active. Everyone should pursue Klaxxi unless they no longer need the ring. The vendor also has some 4, 6, 3 eye level blues at exalted, which may be worth considering. Almost all Valor items and blacksmithing patterns will be available at honored, which you can simply get by completing the zone questline. Going to Revered will allow you to pick up the Valor legs. The August Celestials is strictly a daily quest reputation. Sage Whiteheart or Lotus Bloom will give you a breadcrumb quest to send you to one of the 4 temples where you complete your daily quest for the day. And honestly, that's the entire reputation breakdown. There are 4 quests that you can do around Pandaria, which give you a total of 1000 reputation. Once you're honored, you can pick up a celestial offering that will grant you certain buffs when you're in one of the 4 different temples. This only really helps while questing, but one of the legendary quest stages will require you to complete a trial in these temples, so it's definitely worth picking up and keeping it in your bank. You will get the buff even if your offering is in the bank. There are powerful enchanting recipes locked behind the profession at Revered, and the Valor Boots will also be unlocked when you reach Revered. In order to unlock the faction, you'll need to have completed the A Witness to History quest, which opens up the gate to the Veil of the Eternal Blossoms. This is a short quest line that starts at the Temple of the White Tiger. The same quest will need to be completed for the next faction, the Golden Lotus. Like most other factions, this is another faction centered around, you guessed it, daily quests. If you played MOP back in the days, you may have some vague memory about getting a reputation from killing mobs. Well, that system was only implemented in the last phase of the expansion and after all of the daily quest hubs were destroyed due to the influence of the Shah. In MOP Classic, mobs will not give reputations and you'll be relegated to farming reputation through dailies. You'll have 5 daily quest hubs, with the last one unlocking at Revered. In addition to daily quests, you can also gain reputation through unlocking treasures in the Vale through looting keys. This will be a super slow way of farming reputation and will only be a small bonus of farming sky shards for the Alani mount. The reputation items in the treasures will not be available until the week after Mokshan Vault is out, similar to the shard song of the Klaxxi. Completing the final power, the last quest of the zone, unlocked when you're exalted, will give you a 496 item level neck, which may be worth considering if you haven't gotten a better option from the raid by the time you're exalted. Otherwise, you can safely stop doing dailies once you reach Honored. As a tailor or leatherworker, this is where you get your 476 item level glove and chest patterns. If you're looking to secure the Valor chest, then you should go all the way to Revered. The next few reputations will be purely for cosmetics or offer rewards that are not directly tied to player power. The Anglers is your fishing reputation, but you can reach Exalted without catching a single fish. You have 3 active daily quests per day in the Angler's Wharf, giving 500 reputation each, and 11 non-repeatable quests in Soggy's Gamble in Dreadways. Additionally, you can catch 3 rare fish every day, which grants you 350 reputation per turn-in, but the primary reason you catch the fish is to gain friendship level with Nat Pagel, who will have its own separate reputation scale that gives you a special fishing hat once you reach best friend status. You may think of this faction as purely cosmetic, but that's not quite true. The mount you get at Exalted, the Asher Water Strider, is the best ground mount in the entire game, as it can allow you to run across water. In a world where we're flying everywhere, it might not matter much. But if we get Walls of Draenor Classic, I'll assure you that you'll be very glad you picked up a Water Strider in MOP. Lorewalkers is a strictly cosmetic faction unless you're looking to do archaeology. Getting Exalted will grant you a tabard and a mount and will take you about 1 to 2 hours to complete. You simply have to fly around Pandaria and interact with monuments, and once you're done, you'll turn in the scrolls to get in the mail to gain reputation all the way to Exalted. Here's the route that I would take, but if you prefer to plug in the coordinates, I'll have a link to the Wowhead article that I wrote in the description. The Tillers is the reputation associated with your farm in Valley of the Four Winds. You may start a little plot of the farm once you're level 85, but you cannot progress with the Tillers Union questline until you're level 90. For all intents and purposes, working towards progressing this faction will not be possible until level 90. You have to work through a questline, gaining the confidence and union votes with your friends at a half hill. And then it's mostly a case of just doing daily quests. You'll unlock plots of your farm as you progress with the faction, and gaining reputation will allow you to purchase more powerful seeds. Most people will be looking to get Revered in order to get access to the Songbell seeds so they can harvest Motes of Harmony, which get turned into Spirits of Harmony. This is your Frozen Orb / Chaos Orb for this expansion. Additionally, you'll have 10 NPCs you can build friendship with. Some will come from daily quests, but most of it will come from turning in food and treasures to your friends. Here's a list of what each NPC wants, along with the treasure that they prefer. Turning in their preferred gift will give 900 reputation, but you can't turn in any gift to any NPC, you will just get less reputation. These treasures can be found all over Pandaria in dark soil, but can most easily be farmed around the Valley of the Four Winds. A tip is to turn down the clutter setting in the game, as it makes it much easier to spot the soil. The Tillers is mostly cosmetic, but fully unlocking the farm and the seeds you want will give you a steady stream of materials throughout the entire expansion. The very last reputation is Order of the Cloud Serpent, which is a strictly cosmetic reputation. You can either reach Exalted through dailies, of which you'll have 2 until you reach Revered, where you unlock 3 more. To gain reputation more quickly, you can farm for Onyx eggs, which are scattered around Jade Forest in predetermined locations. I'll have a link to all the coordinates in the description. And that's all of the reputations. I've written a much more in-depth guide for all the reputations over on Wowhead, so if there's a faction you want to find out more about, you can click the links in the description. Also keep in mind that you can buy 100% reputation increase commendation once you reach Revered, which is account bound and can be sent to alts that aren't revered yet. Host and Pete's Pipe can also be used to gain 1000 reputation every 7 days, but keep in mind that it's consumed on use. Now, how should you focus your efforts? Raiders should look to pursue Klaxxi and the Golden Lotus from the get-go to get the 4 and 8, 9 neck and ring once they reach exalted. Since you won't be able to get exalted until the raid is already released, you can stop doing dailies with either of the faction if you get better alternatives. You can of course work towards all reputations simultaneously, but that's a lot of dailies and you will likely have several characters to maintain, so prioritizing certain reputations you know you will need will be advised. We'll be able to get revered or exalted before the release of Heart of Fear and Terrace, so you'll likely want to fill gear slots you can't get in Motion Vault with items available through the Valor vendor. For example, as a play tank, I'm unlikely to get prioritized for helmet and legs in Motion Vault, therefore I should prepare myself to be able to pick up either of those pieces with Valor by getting revered with Shado-Pan and the Klaxxi. Agility tank and DPS doesn't have any options for boots in Motion Vault, therefore they should prioritize August Celestials. Shado-Pan dailies should generally be skipped unless you're looking to become revered for the helmet or the enchanting recipes, since you can get honor by simply doing the quests in the zone while leveling up. Here's a breakdown of which piece you won't be able to get in Motion Vault, so that you know with which reputation you can focus your efforts. Keep in mind that this guide is specific to the beginning of the expansion and that additional catch-up systems will be implemented over the course of the expansion. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure you will enjoy some of my other Mists of Pandaria videos. Click the link on the screen right now to check out a playlist with all the other videos in one place. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.